Hello class. Today's class we're going to look at the basics of computer studies. And this basic, I believe you've heard of them before. So this probably is a revision class for you. So at the end of today's class, you should be able to define the term computer. You should be able to describe what a computer system is. You should be able to state the components of a computer system. You should be able to define computer hardware and software. You should be able to list examples of hardware and software. You should be able to state the categories of this hardware. And last but not the least, you should be able to state the different types of software. So without wasting time, let's dive into the first objective, which is the definition of computer. Now, what is a computer? A computer is an electronic device that accepts data as input, processes the data, store the data, or gives out the processed data as output or information. So as you can see from diagram, you can see these are all pictures of a computer system. So this is how a computer looks like. Now, most people refer to computer as a system. What is a system? A system is a collection of components that are organized for a common purpose. This has to do with various components working together to perform a single or a whole function. Let's take, for example, your body system. The body system comprises of various parts. Your head, your eyes, your hand, your leg, and so on and so forth. Now, all these parts put together to form the human body system. And if you are to take note of, you will observe that each of these body parts has its own specific function. Let's take, for example, the eyes. The eye is used to see, while the nose is used to perceive things. So without each of these components, you will discover that the body system will not be whole. For example, without the eye, a human will not be able to see. So the same knowledge applies to that of a computer system. Without one of the component parts of the computer system, the computer will not be able to perform the function of that part it is missing. So a computer system includes the various computer components or parts that work together as a whole or unit. Now, we've been talking about various parts of a computer. All these parts of a computer are what we refer to as the components of a computer system. Now, these components of a computer system are divided into two parts. They are divided into the hardware and the software components. What is a hardware? Hardware are those physical parts of the computer system. What I mean by physical, I'm simply referring to those parts that you can see them. Now you can also touch the hardware and as well handle them. So those parts of the computer system that you can see, touch, and handle are what we refer to them as the hardware components. And examples of this hardware are the mouse, the keyboard, the monitor, the printer, the scanner, and so on and so forth. So all these parts, I believe you can see them, touch them, and handle them. Now, I believe everybody here has seen a computer system before. If you have not seen a computer system before, please comment on the comment section and I'll try and see how I'll make you see a computer system. All right, let's move forward. A software. What are these software? Now, software are those sets of instructions that enable the computer system to perform a specific task. And when you look at the note, you can see me displaying sets of instructions there. Now, all those sets of instructions are written to enable the computer carry out one or two tasks. Now, examples of this software are the Microsoft Word, CorelDRAW, Adobe Photoshop, Microsoft Paint, Microsoft Excel, and so on and so forth. So there are lots of software. Now we go back to the hardware. I believe we all know what the hardware is. I told you guys what the hardware is. There are those parts, you can see them, touch them, and handle them. Now, this hardware are categorized into two major parts: the system unit and computer peripherals. The system unit, this is the system unit. Some people say this part comprises of the major components of the computer system, but this is the system unit. Now, the other parts that are add-on or are auxiliary parts to this system unit are what we refer to them as the computer peripherals. And examples of these parts are the mouse, the keyboard, your external hard drive, your printer, your scanner, and so on and so forth. So any part of the computer system that is not in this system unit is referred to as computer peripheral. Any part at all that you add to this system unit is what we refer to as computer peripherals. So software. Software also are divided into two types. The first is referred to as the system software, while the second is referred to as the application software. So this is where we stop for today's class. So make sure you take note